AI is all the rage, everywhere we hear Gen AI, Gen AI, Gen AI. A lot of every organization, every leading tech organization today is in the rat race of building Gen AI products and incorporating Gen AI in their products. Recently, there was a conference of NVIDIA, and in Mumbai, if you have, if you keep following the news, and they are also experimenting with Gen AI quite a much. So Gen AI is here to stay, right? And with it, it's transforming the industry at a very large scale and at a very rapid pace. And whenever such kind of transitions have happened in the industry, you take, the industrial revolution. Every time there have been this hoax, or this rumor, or this fear that the new technologies that are going to come are going to take our jobs, right? We have heard that when computers were introduced in India, that were very new in the 90s and 2000s, when the personal computers started becoming very popular in the country, there was always a worry that it is going to take a massive jobs from the people who are doing jobs in the traditional way of working. But what happened after that? What happened after that is that it transformed the industry. It created new horizons of working. It created new horizons in that industry, and lakhs and crores of new jobs were created. So today I'm here because Gen AI, we are standing at a point today where Gen AI is going to transform the industry, and we have really started seeing the effects in the industry today itself. I personally, being very, involved in the recruitment processes, the requirement of the industry is constantly come to me. And over the past, few months, over the past year, I have been seeing that generative AI, with the aptitude in generative AI is being sought after by the companies a lot more today, and it's going to be increased, right? So let me tell you something about myself, a little about myself. So my journey started in 2016. Before that, I was a college student. Like most of the college students, my mind was cluttered with the rat race, the kind of, where the everyone was going. So I have graduated from mechanical engineering, and the trend in mechanical engineering, especially in India, those who are from Philippines and Indonesia, for them, I am saying the trend is that after completing the graduation, people generally, most of the students, they generally start preparing for the government services preparation. The most popular exam is GATE that they started preparing. So I was in the same crowd. I started going in the same crowd, and at that time, I did not realize I was following the crowd, right? Now, 2017, I got an opportunity where a few of my college seniors started an NGO where they wanted to address this problem. They wanted to address the problem that the right kind of guidance, right kind of mentorship is not available to the undergraduate students studying in the colleges, especially in tier 2 and tier 3 colleges in India. And that really struck a chord with me because I was feeling that my career is going nowhere. I have graduated from tier 3 college, and I really don't know what industry demands from me. Now, if I'm going to, pursue a job opportunity, what kind of skills should I include in my CV? These all things I did not know at that time. Today, there are many opportunities like, Wadhwani Foundation here is providing you the opportunity of getting the right mentorship. At that time, it was not available to most of the students. The internet had still not boomed yet. After the introduction of Geo itself, the internet became a part of our daily routine. But at that time, it was not there, and accessing information also was very tough. So I started volunteering at Eternity Foundation. I started volunteering, and Since I did not know much about the niche technologies in the IT sphere, like big data, AI, machine learning, Java, React, I did not know much about that. So the only way I could contribute was to take care of the digital marketing part, the social media handling. So I started as a social media coordinator at Eternity Foundation, and slowly I was introduced to the realm of hackathons. So one of the first hackathons that I participated was Startanity Foundation, Startanity hacks that we had organized. And at that time, I was really fascinated with the kind of energy hackathon brings. Just being in the planning phase and everything, it filled me with energy, excitement, and something to look forward, because a lot of innovation was going to happen, a lot of problem solving was going to happen, and I could feel the energy around me. So that really fascinated me towards the hackathons, and I became the first full-time member at Eternity Foundation. I started as a community manager itself. I was the lead community manager at Eternity Foundation. So you can see, from digital marketing background to going and contributing into the operations, then managing the community, and then when we productized our platform and we brought Where You Elevate, I joined as an associate director of sales here. So that's my journey of past 7+ years, where initially I started confused like anyone, but then I listened to my heart, and I really understood. I followed my heart where I liked, where I followed my passion of bringing an impact into the society, and the something that I wanted to do for the technical education in India. That opportunity I got through there, and I never really left it. And when I started following my heart, I started building my career. So when today I'm talking about building your career, it's really very, very close to your heart. It should be very close to your heart. Can I get a thumbs up, those who understand this point, that building a career should always come from the depths of your heart? Otherwise, it's not, it will be something that you will feel trapped into, right? That you will feel you want to get away from, but you are not getting away from. So that's the something that I want to convey here. Now, let me share a little bit about Where You Elevate. So at Where You Elevate, we are working on building the next gen innovative workforce. We are the platform that connects industry with the workforce, the next gen innovative workforce, because the workforce today, the student today, the students working in the students in colleges today, they want opportunities, right? Especially in the tier 2 and tier 3 colleges today, there is lack of innovative opportunities to show their skills, to show their innovative mind, to build solution for the industry. The industry has really transformed over the last few years. It's just not about skills, it's about problem solving today. If you are able to solve industry problems, you will be the most sought after talent that will be sought after in the industry. And that's what we are promoting through innovative opportunities that we are giving to the students out there, through our hackathons, through our case study competitions, case study challenges. Even hiring today is a very popular method of hiring is hiring hackathons, where industries not only assess you on the basis of skills, but they assess you basis on the problem solving skills, the kind of live industry problem solving that you can do for the industry. So that's a very important factor the industry is today looking at while hiring. It's not just about skills, it's not just about coding, it's not just about the algorithms, it's not about how anyone can code. It's how about anyone can connect to the vision of an organization, connect and understand the business requirements, and they can solve their business challenges accordingly. Now, coming to, before I tell you how to build your career in Gen AI, I want, this slide is very important because there is a lot of confusion in what is a career and what is a job. Today, I would say more than 80% of college graduates, they are looking for a job. it's very difficult for someone to understand what's the difference between a career and a job in the college itself. And by the time you realize it, sometimes it becomes very difficult. And at that point of time, you are standing at the crossroads in your life, and your heart is saying something else. Your financial situations, your family burdens, your family responsibilities say something else. And it's become very difficult for someone at that point of time to make a course correction and get into something that they really enjoy doing, right? So let me share about it. Career is the pursuit of a life goal, and job is an activity to earn, right? So for a life goal is always a much bigger, a much larger in concept where someone. So for me, it was I wanted to make an impact into the education system in India. For someone, it might be environment. For someone, it might be aquatic animals. For someone, it may be sustainability. For someone, it may be, the standard of living of people of India. So it's always very, very, very impact oriented. And then it's not about just because if you have chosen environment, you want to do something about environment, then you can see of what are the ways for you where you can contribute towards it. If you are a very good at coding, you can build products that bring about a change, or measure something, or have a good data analytics for the impact on something is creating on the environment. Then what are the requirements? Highly individual and personalized skill development. So for building a career in a particular domain, you have to be have highly individual and personalized skill development. For me, if I would say, I have a very good ability to connect with people wherever I'm going. So it helped me. My journey has helped me to build that skill that's personal to me. And for a job, it's very generalized. Like you are very good at Java, very good at React. It's very generalized skill based. Now, for building a career, it's always high risk, because when you are listening to your heart, the risk is high, and it will always be a roller coaster ride. It will never be that you are feeling every day you are feeling very good. There are 70% of the days maybe when you will be struggling, where you will be hustling, you won't be feeling much good about it. But when you start seeing the results of that after, suppose 6 months, you suffered for 6 months, and after you started seeing the results, it becomes much more worthwhile. In a job, it's very much low risk and more stability. So if you want stability at the point of life that you have responsibilities, you can go for a low risk, more stability kind of job. And the time taken, it's a very long process. Building a career is a very long process. Even after 7 years of volunteering full time, I'm still building my career. It's still in the process, and maybe till the time I may be working, or able to physically possible for me to work, maybe it keep on evolving, it keeps on growing, it keeps on growing. And for job, it's a very short term. Job is as easy as in a placement drive, you got a job. That's as easy as that. So it's very important for you to understand the difference between building your career and getting a job, because that will decide the direction you are taking your life in, the kind of satisfaction you will have in your life, the kind of enjoyment, the joy you will be feeling out of your work, and overall, your mental health, your physical health, everything will be impacted by it. So I would request taking it very seriously.
People are trying to, create systems where routine tasks or way we respond to a situation can be automated. In that way, I feel like writing mails or some things where they are using all these things, where generally how we will, like for applying a job, how people usually apply a job. So majority of them, they are using chat GPT and all that to standardize what are the formats. Childhood में Brennan Martin में पढ़ा थे, they used to teach how to write application for job. Now chat GPT is teaching how to apply for job.
Yes, yes, yes. So thank you so much. A round of applause for you to speak out. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Generative AI is made of two words: generative AI. What is generative means is something that is generated with the help of artificial intelligence. Now, how it uses artificial intelligence, there are previously stored data, a lot of data on which the machine learning algorithms are trained on. Okay, you must have heard that there is ChatGPT, then there is Gemini AI for the Google. ChatGPT is from OpenAI, and then Microsoft it has different. Then Nvidia is also building their own. So there are multiple Gen AI models here in the industry, and what they are doing is they have a lot of database, a lot of data, a lot of data on which the machine learning algorithm trains. And whenever you put a prompt or you request something, something out of it is generated with the help of that machine learning algorithm. Earlier, what it used to be, whatever you have written, there used to be no background context for it, for any engine to rely on to give you something. If you wanted, give me rose, a flower of rose. So it will give you a generic image of rose. But today, what you can do is you can take your image, you can write something in the Adobe software that show me holding a rose in my hand or something like that. Something the prompt you can give, and it can create a customized image based on you. That's the power of GenAI. And as you said that today emails are being written. So where at that point of time that generative AI is being used to, you know, understand what the email chain is all about. It has the access of the entire mail train, and it will give you, based on that data, it will give you customized options on how you should respond to it. It can suggest you in responding in a funny way, it can suggest you responding in a professional way, it can suggest you can respond in a casual way. So even the tone of your response can be customized with the use of generative AI today. And that's all happens because they have large amount of data on which that model is trained. It happens for the image processing, image generation softwares, Midjourney. I think many of you must have heard about Midjourney. Dell E is very famous software for image generation. Then there are a lot of softwares today for video content generation using AI. You just write the prompt and the video will be generated, right? So all these things, you can even put some kind of documents, and it will go through the document, it will understand the context, and it whatever questions you ask, it will give you the answer from the context of those documents itself, right? So that's Gen AI. Now, how industry requirements are changing. Understanding this is very important if you want to build a career today, because if you want to build a career in Gen AI, you will have to start from today itself if you haven't started already. Because from tech positions to even in the non-tech positions, in the management positions, Gen AI is heavily used to automate the daily tasks, right? So for a coder, using Gen AI can, shorten their time of, writing a code from maybe 1 to 2 hours to maybe half an hour, so 45 minutes, they can utilize it. So that's how industry requirements are changing in all the domains, for software developers, for technical positions, also for the management positions, for HRs. For HRs today, they can give simple requirement what they want in a candidate, and their entire job description can be created within fraction of minutes. That even used to take half an hour to 1 hour for an HR, they can do that in 5 minutes of time, right? For content writers, it has revolutionized. For content writers, the time taken to write a piece of content, maybe earlier it used to be 1 to 2 hours. Today it can be written in just 15 to 20 minutes. So every industry, every organization in industry today wants to increase the productivity, reduce the time that is taken for the daily mundane tasks, and generative AI is helping them do that. So today they want someone who is AI, generative AI ready, who has skills of using generative AI to do the same kind of work that someone used to do in 1 hour, someone you can do in 15 minutes, right? So that's what I've made you understood in very simple language. So industry requirements from going on from today itself, from now itself, we are seeing that a lot of job descriptions. If you go to LinkedIn, go to job section and start, checking up the job descriptions of the different listings the organizations have done. You will see out of, more than 50% will have a point there that he should be skilled in utilizing generative AI tools. So using and being skilled in generative AI tools is going to be a very necessary requirement going in the future. And those who have built mastery over it will be the most sought after skill talent in today's day and age. Now, how to go about it? How to build your skills in generative AI tools, right? So there are two ways. First, you build your skills. How you will build your skills? There are multiple courses available online. There are multiple tools that are available online. Start using them from today itself. Start using them and leverage them to multiply your productivity. You can measure out that writing an email used to take me half an hour. Using ChatGPT, if you can shorten that time to 15 minutes, you have saved 15 minutes of your time for some other task, and you can multiply your productivity leveraging AI. And that's how these AI tools can be used to enhance your productivity. Now, there is one of the big challenges here that today that I'm seeing a lot of content writers today, the interns or someone who's coming, when they get the chat gpt or generative AI tools, there is a tendency on over relying on it. So one of the problems that we are seeing is that the entire contents are copy paste of the generative AI tools. So one of the things that you need to understand is the skill, the talent that will be required in an organization is someone who understands the business, understand the business challenges, and can produce the content, and give their productivity aligned to it. So suppose there is a content writer, there are two content writers. One content writer just writes a kind of prompt, gets some kind of answers from ChatGPT, copies it, and gives it as part of their assignment or task, something like that. And there is another content writer who adds their understanding of their business, who takes the draft that is given by the ChatGPT, makes suitable changes into it, and creates a more fitting draft that can be submitted as part of their task. For an organization, the second one will be the better candidate, and the first one will most probably lose their job to ChatGPT because they are not utilizing their minds. So, leveraging AI to multiply your productivity is important, and at the same time, giving your own thoughts, your own understanding, and your own flavor to the kind of content that you are generating through generative AI, that is really important. I hope everyone understood this distinction, and at least from the people present here today, this should not be happening whenever you are going, wherever you are starting your jobs. Please mind, wherever you are using the AI tools to get some content, always temper it with your own understanding. That is really important. That will transform you into a very highly productive asset for a company, not just an employee for an organization, but you will be started, everyone will start seeing you as an asset for an organization. And that's how the careers are built. Next, as I said, generative AI is the future in every industry today. Like, generative AI is being integrated in the IoT. Generative AI is heavily integrated into the creative arts. So even for the non-technical students out there, generative AI is going to transform the domain you are working. Even if you are a painter, even if you are a content writer, even if you are a video editor, even if you are someone who is a graphic designer, generative AI is going to impact your lives tomorrow, and it is the future. It is going to stay. If you are if someone is saying that no, it's just a passing phase and sometimes the generative AI will be gone, it's not going to go. It's here to stay, and it's better to build your skills today, right? And 10 years from now, there will be a better human AI collaborations that are going on. With the onset of VR, extended reality, the generative AI will be in our daily lives, and building your skill in these technologies is the way to go. Now, how you will build, build an AI ready mindset. Because from today, if you want to change yourself, first you will have to change your mindset. Otherwise, it's very difficult to change your habits. So, from today, if you are saying that I'll start learning the AI, there are tools I will be using. These are of no use if you are not training your mind to utilize the AI tool. How you can do that? One way is participate in hackathons. So if you are in a college, participate in one hackathon. Immediately, whenever you get an opportunity, go to them. There are different platforms that are offering hackathons. Even where you elevate, you can go, you can find different hackathons, participate in it. Participate in it, form different teams with, cross skill collaboration. So in a hackathon, there is someone who is good at UI UX designing. There is someone who is good at front end coding. There is someone who understands the business very well, who understand what kind of features the solution should have. Someone there is who works on back end, someone who works on database. So it's a very cross-functional team in a hackathon. And there you can utilize AI tools, you can learn to utilize AI tools to solve industry problems. Once you build that kind of habit, once you build that kind of mindset on how tools can be used to solve industry problems, it's not just a tool, it becomes a part of you that you are using to build your career and establishing yourself as an asset in the industry. You will no longer be required to follow for jobs, their jobs will come to you. If you start building yourself as an asset for the industry, the future that the industry is going to build. So thank you everyone. This was my masterclass on building your career in the era of Gen AI. Hope it was informative to you. It must have opened some new doors, some new horizons for you.
How you can use Gen AI to do a work in fraction of minutes. I finally noticed that you didn't say that a 30-minute job can be done in 3 seconds or 3 minutes.
That's not possible. Yeah, that's not possible. 3 seconds is 3 seconds is just copy pasting. I'm never advocate of copy paste generative AI content. What I have said here is apply your mind. You should be visible. Your stamp should be visible. That someone who is there, who has utilized a generative AI tool, but stamps their own authority over it, stamps their own creativity over it, stamps their own thought process over it on how it aligns to their business. Because believe it or not, Gen AI, sometimes ChatGPT even gives a very generic answer. It does not understand your business the way you understand your business. The kind of keywords you should be using, the kind of phrases you should be using to communicate your business better. That's what makes someone better at using generative AI tools, where generative AI tools are assisting them in their task rather than they are reliant on them. That's a very huge difference.
Does generative AI, if somebody is giving it a prompt, will it generate different prompt for different people, or will the prompt be same?
Prompt is generated. Prompt is given by you.
Yeah, the prompt. I mean the response. Will it generate
response? Yes. Response, generally, what I have experienced, response differs a little bit, but it's generally on the same lines because it has been trained on on the same database. So if you go to two different generative AI models, suppose if you go to ChatGPT, if you go to Gemini, you will get different responses. But if two people ask the same thing from ChatGPT, it will give different responses, but on the same lines. You will see the pattern that's similar in the way of its answering.
Wow! So I think the trick is to give it a detailed prompt so that it can give you the desirable response. Another question that we have is that what are the demerits of Gen AI?
Demerit of Gen AI is if you are not using your brain to how, suppose earlier for drafting an email you had to use your brain, how to start, how to write first line, how to write a greeting, how to formulate it so it's very professional, how to formulate it. So based on the context, based on the relation with the person that you are writing an email, you could have used different writing styles, right? It could have been very fine, formal, it could have been very casual, it could have been in a funny way. So it could have been. So you would have used your mind. Now someone is doing that for you. So it's the demerit. The only demerit is, first of all, that you become over reliant, and it's in your hand that you don't let it be a demerit to you. So it's again in your hands. Second, the second one is that there is a set of data on which it is trained on. So if you go to ChatGPT, there is cutoff date of a data on which it is trained, right? You can go and check it's September 2021 or something like that. So after that, if something comes, if some changes happen, it's not trained on that. Gemini, I guess it's trained on the latest data also. So different models, different how organizations have built the different LLM models, they work differently. So that's the two demerits of what I would say. Third is if you are generating images, instead of 5 fingers, it will show 6 fingers or 7 fingers. The spelling is not quite correct. If you are writing masterclass, it will mess up the spelling somewhere. So it's generally done to distinguish between an AI image and a non-AI image. But that's also one of the demerits that I would say.
If you can expand a little bit on, you talked about training data. So we have Tharani asking that what is the role of data in training generative AI models?
Generative AI is actually the data that's been trained on. Suppose there is an organization, there are FAQs, there are questions that are coming to it, and you are responding to the questions that are coming. Now you apply a generative AI model and it gets trained on the data. Someone asked a question, what kind of answer was given? Someone asked this question, what kind of answer was given? Someone asked this question, what kind of answer was given? So on this data, if it is trained on that, when I'm saying training on a data, so suppose there is a computer, you put a library in front of it and ask to read the entire library, and then you ask question on the basis of it. So if the library is predominantly agriculture based, it will give you the answer related to agriculture because it's been trained on that kind of data. So that's what I'm saying, that LLM models are trained on the previous data. So suppose there is the Google search history and the responses and the Google pages. You ask ChatGPT on something about that. It's trained on the data. It has the backing of the entire data, the research journals, everything like that, and it will compile that data to give you a customized answer. So suppose you want to write an email on the bad effects of chemicals that are being used for the skin, right? You want to write an email to the industry, to the government body, some government body. You ask that kind of question on a ChatGPT. It will access all the data, all the research journals it has on its disposal, on the data that it has been trained. It will search that wherever that chemicals are being used, the kind of research has been put, the kind of adverse effects that were visible on the humans, and it will combine all that and create an email for you using all that data. It will incorporate that data into it. So that's what I mean by saying it's trained on that data.
Oh, very nice. There's somebody who's putting you on the spot and they want to learn your secret. They're asking that which AI tools do you use?
I use ChatGPT. I use Gemini. ChatGPT is more robotic answer you will be getting. Gemini is more human-like, but I believe these two I use to get a draft of something that I want. Even for LinkedIn posts that I do, I get a draft of it from ChatGPT or something like that. I give a draft that I want to convey this and this message. I want to this and this, and it formulates the response for me. Then I change it accordingly. I remove the content. I add some content. Everything like that. I do everything what my original thought was into that, and then I put it. And apart from that, I use generative AI in making PPTs also. Sometimes I utilize the Canva capabilities where I give a prompt. It gives me some templates or something like that, so that it saves me time on searching the templates. Earlier, when I started, creating graphic designs on Canva in 2017-18, half an hour it used to take to get the right template itself. Today, it's when I type that this kind of result I want, it gives me generally the correct template within few minutes. So I have reduced that kind of time where I used to search for templates with the use of generative AI. So that's proper use that I make.
And does it really help to pay for an AI tool versus using the free version?
Paid AI tool will generally have better results, better quality of results that you are getting. If you are getting a free, it will generally have lower quality of results that you are getting. So that's the only difference that I can say. If you can elevate that basic thing that you are getting to a better level with your own efforts, it's always the best way to go.
Absolutely. And what I'm also hearing from you is that we can not just use AI to get better at work, but as you were describing that you used AI to optimize your LinkedIn profile, so we can also leverage AI in our job search process. I'm highlighting this
Definitely.
since majority of our students are in that phase of preparing for job interviews, applying for jobs. So I think go ahead and
For jobs, even today, you can give the job requirement, and it can customize your CV. So earlier we used to say have 7, 8 drafts of your CV for different kind of roles that you are going to apply for. Today that can be easily done through the AI tools, where resumes are being transformed, are being tweaked on the basis of the job description that you feed on it. So it saves you hours of work. In that case, it used to take hours to carefully change each and every line on your CV. Today in half an hour you can do that.
Wow. So what I'm hearing is I'll expand a little bit. So you were saying that it is important, one, to customize CVs for every job application, and you
Yeah,
can do so by not just spending hours of, but using AI to assist you in that.
definitely. Even there, have the brains to not to just cross check if it has given the correct answer. Otherwise, if it has added something on its own, you won't be able to check it. If you are just reliant on the results that it is producing, sometimes it adds things on its own. So giving it a good proofread is important.
There's a question which is not directly related to AI, but I think it's a very interesting question. Since you had this digital marketing background, so this person is asking that what kind of a job position would be suitable for a digital marketing graduate?
Digital marketing, so there is a lot of digital marketing. You can go for SEO, you can go for social media optimizer, you can go for search engine optimizer, you can go for graphic designer, or you can be a campaign manager that takes into account everything. You can be a marketing data analyst who analyzes the marketing data that is being generated through the website, through Google Ads, through different ads. You can be expert in the ads optimization, creating the best ads for LinkedIn, for Instagram, something like that. So digital marketing is a vast field in from content writing, graphic designing to data analytics, even using AI to build the ads today. It's the opportunities are endless.
The question is that how many jobs would be lost in this particular field due to AI automation? Yeah.
I told job loss. Do not fear the job loss. Fear being a skilled person in utilizing the tool, so that you are there at the foremost when someone picks you. If someone is just relying on a tool, so I have given you the example. If there is a content writer, if it just copy paste chat gpt, that can be done by anyone. Why would organization needs a content writer who just copy paste chat gpt? That can be done by their manager also. It won't take 3 seconds or 4 seconds of their time, right? They want someone who applies their mind while utilizing those tools. Electrical engineering, how it utilizes in that's beyond a lot of my purview, because I'm a mechanical engineer, and that's not there. But yeah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll check out, and I'll be happy to give you some direction after that once I check it.
Yeah, so my question is that, as they say that AI would eat most of the jobs in future by 2030. So from all the participants, my question is, we should pursue a job, a career through in organizations, or work mostly as freelancer and generate our, develop our own personal skill sets and work as a freelance with companies.
Even when you are, so that's why I said building a career is a long process. It's not just a job that you are taking. So even for developers today, they have to upskill into generative AI tools that are being used for the coding. So if there is a front end developer, there are no code front end platforms out there who can build their no code solutions in just a fraction of seconds. Even for a backend developer, there are no code or low code backend platforms available. So tools are available. They are not going to take away jobs. They are going to expand jobs. They are going to, suppose, by hand, it used to take 4 hours to grind wheat into atta, right? Someone installed, so for 5 kg atta, if someone had to churn 5 kg atta, they had to employ 5 people sometimes who are working on the manual way. Someone installed a machine there, and they are now hundreds of kgs of atta in one day. What happens is the demand is also increasing. With that machine will be 10 number of houses. So it's not that it's taking away some kinds of jobs. Some kinds of jobs will become irrelevant, but new kinds of jobs will be created, right? If you are a front-end developer with low-code platforms, the kind of website you used to build in 20 hours, you will be able to build in 2 hours. So in a particular day, you will be able to do 10 times the work that you used to do before. So that's how the production will also increase. Once the production increases, the opportunities always increase. So rather than going for, fearing that jobs will be eaten, you focus on upskilling yourself and being, change ready with the industry. If you are change ready with the industry, you have that kind of mindset where you are going to solve the industry problems. You will always be in the sights of the recruiters, always.